Hi, I'm Father Eric Sundrup, and I'm here with Father Paddy Gilger at American Media, and you are watching Jesuit Autocomplete.
For this one, let's get our fact checkers fired up.
How dare you? How dare you? And our question this week is, why are sacraments? Let's find out.
I feel like that's grammatically incorrect.
I keep trying to put why are there sacraments? Why are sacraments there? Let's see. I'll complete it for you. Why are sacraments celebrated in the Catholic Church?
Oh.
Like physically in the Catholic Church? Or?
That is not what people mean.
If you don't know that.
We're going to take them more seriously, not less seriously.
Okay. What would you say?
I would say sacraments are celebrated inside the Catholic Church because they are markers of major important moments in our life, especially in response to the major important things that Jesus did in his time here on earth. So we can see that all of these things that we celebrate as sacraments, Jesus did and took very seriously. He himself was baptized. He himself went around healing the sick. We want to imitate that, forgiving people. I shouldn't have left that one out of the list.
Really important one. I rely on that one.
Yes, me too. But he did these things, and so we want to imitate that in our own lives.
Visible signs of God's grace.
Well said, yeah.
Yep, visible signs of God's grace. I had some catechism drilled into me.
Apparently, you have a much tighter answer for this than I do too. Typical.
Typical. I got a sentence. Why are sacraments effective? Why do they do what they do? Because of God's grace, right? Because of God's action, right?
Yes.
Because of God's love for us. Sacraments are effective because of God's love and our reception of that, our openness with our own free will to receive that and to accept it. Mm-hmm. I think another reason, if you were like, why is a sacrament effective? We need signs.
Yes,
signs are really important to us to be able to touch, to taste, to see, to smell. I'm missing a sense, whatever. But all the senses. You use those to get in touch with the mystery of God and God's grace in our life.
Yeah. So how are sacraments effective versus why are sacraments effective? A little bit different. How? Like we see in those, they work because we are embodied creatures. And we need those kinds of things. But why do they work? They work because really we entrust ourselves to the Lord to make them effective. Now, they, of course, arose in imitation of Jesus over history. Like these things were, the way we do the sacraments was constructed by our community of the church over the long time. So why we do them in this way is because we're trying to be responsive together to what the Lord has taught us to do.
Mm-hmm. Why are sacraments divided into different categories? Which categories? I think like the one that everyone knows and is used to is the sacraments of initiation, right? So baptism, first communion, and confirmation.
The things that bring us into the body of the church.
Yeah, but so frequently though, you'll hear about people making their first confession around the time of those sacraments of initiation. There's other divisions, I guess, with them. I mean, I don't know that they're like hard and like everyone follows. Like there's the sacraments of vocation, so marriage and ordination, and then sacraments of healing, so anointing of the sick and confession. Match into those. So. Yeah. So why are they divided into categories? I think it helps you remember sort of what certain sacraments share together, how they're connected to each other. Yeah. I think that can be a helpful way of looking at those categories. Next one, why are sacraments? I keep wanting to put a there in there. Why are sacraments different from sacramentals? Oh yeah, you got to know that. Sacraments versus sacramentals. There's a lot of things people do that aren't like one of the sacraments, right? And so a lot of those actions, those blessings, so the sprinkling with holy water, the blessing of people, the devotional practices, saying the rosary, all those things, those are signs of God's grace as well, but they're not quite a sacrament.
Processions.
Yeah.
Prayers before meals, blessings of houses.
Yeah. So these other things that are signs of God's grace, but they're not fully, I don't know what you would say, like they're not as big as a sacrament?
Yeah, well, they're not formally codified amongst the seven, but they also are aimed at opening us up to the same grace that the sacraments.
Right, yeah, they're pushing you back to the grace that, most fully received or noticed in a sacrament. And the last one, why are there 7 sacraments?
Oh yeah, great question. So there are 7 sacraments.
The number is 7, and so shall it be.
Yeah, 7 has been a holy number in human history for a long time. So in some ways, there are 7 because 7 has always been a holy number. But also these things are practices that the church has lived with and lived into over the long term. It's true that the number of sacraments was only defined, codified, at the Council of Trent, so as 7. But that was because there were other people, the reformers at the time, who were trying to say that certain things that the Catholic Church was counting as sacraments ought not count. They wanted to strip down the sacraments really to 2, Eucharist and baptism. And because we wanted to preserve these things, then it became a need for us to establish which ones we believe in and why.
And show how they came out of the life and the ministry of
Exactly.
Jesus. Yeah. To
That's
help
right.
us understand so we did not lose this important set of practices that have been part of our history for a long
I think
time.
did not lose or preserve, right, is a really, that's a helpful way to say it.
So, great questions. Are the sacraments? Why are the sacraments celebrated in the Catholic Church? Why are the sacraments effective? Why are sacraments divided into different categories? Why are sacraments different from sacramentals? And why are there 7 sacraments? Really, this is like my like 8th grade catechism class. Like
Which is your favorite sacrament?
Which is my? Whoa, I don't have a favorite. I love them all equally. Fair.
No. But, which is your favorite to receive and which is your favorite to give?
Holy cow. I like the Eucharist.
Yeah,
Me
too.
I'm a parish priest right now. I love that celebration with the community. I think that's an amazing moment.
Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I love hearing it. Thank you for watching this episode of Jesuit Autocomplete on the sacraments. For Father Eric Sundrup, I'm Father Paddy Gilger. We're here at America Media. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch this episode and all of our other episodes that we've done at Jesuit Autocomplete, many other things as well.